Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. So, JD Vance has caused a slight controversy in the religious world where a lot of his Catholic supporters are questioning the validity of his religious beliefs. And why are they doing this? Well, it's because, as many of you know, JD Vance last week met with the Pope, the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV. And at the ceremony where he met him, he did not do what other world leaders have done and what Catholics typically would do, which is to bow and kiss the ring of the Pope, kind of a symbol of respecting the spiritual father of the church. JD Vance didn't do that, which in and of itself is not that big of a deal, but let's couple that with what he said in this interview this week.
Yes. Okay, so I am a Catholic. I believe that he, meaning Pope Leo, is actually the shepherd of 1.4 billion Catholics. And so there are things like bowing before him, kissing the ring, that are signs of respect for a spiritual father, okay? But on the world stage, I'm not there as JD Vance, a Catholic parishioner. I'm there as the Vice President of the United States and the leader of the President's delegation to the Pope's inaugural Mass. And so, it was interesting. Some of the protocols about how I respond to the Holy Father were much different than how I might respond to the Holy Father. How might you might respond to the Holy Father purely in your capacity as a citizen. And so that's just like one very concrete observation.
So the point he's making is like, okay, I get it. I get what he means. However, you don't get to choose when you're Catholic and when you're not. You should be putting your religion first. That's your identity. That's what your morality is based on. Yet JD is not following through with that. But I can understand the argument. I can understand trying to remain secular, trying to remain neutral, trying not to look like, the president of the United States is subservient to the Pope. I get that. However, the part that people are talking about and what makes this argument very, very unconvincing from him is this photo. So JD Vance, a Catholic, refuses to participate in Catholic ceremony and tradition, yet somehow he can go to Israel, wear a kippah, a vestment of a religion he's not part of, and then kiss the Wailing Wall. Somehow that's okay. That's totally fine. But he has to remain neutral when it comes to his own religion. And that's where this double standard's coming from. That's why people are arguing about this, is because they're saying that he's not being a true Catholic and he's not even being truly secular. He's simply putting the interest of Israel, the religion of Judaism, and the optics of that ahead of his own religion or remaining secular. So this is going to be a question that comes up in the future of how Catholic are you? How much are you practicing what you preach? If you want to be the president of the United States eventually, people want to believe that you represent the ideals you say you do. But at the same time, if you're going to vow that you're secular, you got to be secular. You have to be neutral. You can't put another religion above the rest if you're making that argument, which he's claiming to do. But in this clear instance, he's doing just that. So it can't be both at the same time, and that's causing some disconnect among his supporters, especially the Catholics, because they're saying, look, JD, you're Catholic. You say you're Catholic, but you can't just not act like it. You can't just say you are, but then, my job comes first. That's the best excuse. God loves hearing that one. Well, my job's more important than you. Or my political position is more important than you, Lord. Right? That's what God loves to hear, obviously. So anyways, this isn't like a huge condemnation of JD or anything. It's just people find these clips and they say, why are you not doing what you said? And can we trust how authentic you are when it comes to your religious beliefs? JD is relatively new on the stage. We don't really know that much about him overall. But with a growing Christian consciousness coming in the country, people want their laws, their actions based on the morality of Christianity. And if you're putting secularism above Christianity, that's already a red flag. But then if you're elevating another religion other than Christianity above your own religion, that's a bigger red flag. So I think JD's got to be a little bit clear about these things, where he stands, what he truly believes, if he's going to just say, you know what, my religion takes precedent, or say, my neutrality takes precedent. He's got to be clear with that. So that's all I wanted to say. I don't think this is going to blow into anything huge or whatnot, but it's just questions that people ask and they want to know, where do you stand? What do you really believe? And maybe if we got some more interviews, maybe we could even get, some more relations going on between JD and the Pope or Trump and the Pope, and we can kind of get some more interviews and see what is the relationship between the newly found, the new Pope, who's an American, and the American government, who may in the very near future be run by a Catholic. That's something people want to see and want to be aware of. Both people who are Catholic supporters and people who aren't, they want to know what is the extent that this relationship will take. What form will it take? What will it look like? Is there a level of subservience to your Holy Father and your religion, or are you going to try to separate yourself and make it purely diplomatic? We'll just have to see. So I look forward to more people interviewing him. He seems pretty open to interviews anyways, and then there'll be people who ask these questions, especially as we get closer to an election where JD is probably going to be in the primary. Will probably be the candidate it's looking right now, but he'll at least be in the primary, and this stuff will get brought up one way or another. So anyways, that's my thoughts on this. If you made it all the way through the video, I appreciate it. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.